What's going on, everybody? This is Kenny Comments here, chilling with Kenny C right here on TMVCafe.com, bringing you entertainment to your ears. Hope everybody's going well on your week thus far. And I'm joined with my next guest, professional wrestler from the Midwest. He's making waves, definitely someone to keep an eye on. Midwest wrestling is booming right now, and I have to say, this man is one of the main reasons why. Um, and
Appreciate that.
so he goes by the name of Noah Clover. He's with me right now, and he's got that top dog mentality with the shirt on, top dog out there. How's it
I
going, man?
appreciate that. Good. Just like I said, rest and recovery, just throughout the week, waiting for the next show, which is Friday night. Headed down to Kansas City, Kansas for Fountain City Pro. So, just hanging out, living the dream, as I tell everybody. But
That's good to hear, man. Great to have you on. Before we look ahead to your upcoming events and so forth, and since this is my first time chatting with you, how did you get in? How did your wrestling journey got started?
oh shoot. So just being a fan as a kid, going to all the local events, all the big events that came to the St. Louis area. So just with my older and younger brother, we used to just wrestle around the house, reenact all the big matches that we grew up watching. And then, it got to a point where we got old enough, it was time to actually start training, kind of. We were like, this is what we always wanted to do as, uh, kids. So I took the next step with it, got trained down at, the Dynamo Dojo for a little while and with Izzy Blackwell here in St. Louis for a little while. And now I've been continuing my training with Anakin Murphy and Gary J, and jumping in as many cars as possible now. So honestly, it all just started as a lifelong fan. Always every Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, every day I can watch wrestling, it's on the TV.
Yeah, so you mentioned some familiar names that I'm very fond of. Anakin Murphy, Gary J, for example. Um, Midwest wrestling has always been booming. Especially independent wrestling. A lot of high profile promotions from Missouri to Illinois. I even put Indiana in there as well. So a lot of
Oh
good
yeah.
talent, a lot of high profile uh, promotions that really showcase the wrestlers like yourself and show what you can do, what you're capable of. You've been around wrestling, not for quite some time as an active performer. Going from fan going to being a wrestler yourself, as you pointed out, you are indeed living your dream, obviously.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
why I tell everybody that,
yeah.
like at the beginning, I'm living the dream because at the end of the day, I am. I get to travel around the country, or the world eventually, just doing what I love to do. Whether I get to wrestle or not on a lot of these shows, because of how new I still am, I still get to learn and travel with a lot of these people that are willing to take the time out of their day and help me out. Give me tips, give me the pointers. Show me new things that I may have not thought of. You know what I mean? So, and that goes with even more people like Tommy Davis, Ashlyn Alexander, the Revolution. Those are like the main guys that I'm always around. So I always am bouncing ideas off of them, and you know, all like I said, it's not just me. I feel like at the end of the day, everybody puts in a little bit to help me out get to where I am right now and increase the bar.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like Tommy Davis. I've been seeing him a few times. I sponsor him for a
I
show
saw that. Yeah,
a
I did
while
see that.
back. I got a lot of respect for Tommy. Hard hitting. I
Yeah.
love his style. I love his match with Murphy at
Oh
the
yeah.
Hooligan Championship Wrestling. I was there
Oh yeah.
for
I
that
just I
show.
watched it. Yeah, it was awesome.
So and Ashlyn Alexander, um, give that woman a contract, man. Like she's top tier. She is incredible. She just continues to amaze me time and time again. And
Oh yeah,
she
she's
take
one of my
on,
best friends. So I
yeah.
yeah, The
So
sky's the limit for all of those people,
yeah,
especially her though.
yeah. Give that woman a contract. Somebody. I'm calling out all the major promotions, all the televised promotions, the weekly televised promotions. I mean, yeah, your roster looks great as it is,
But
but
it can just get so much
it
better.
could get so much better. Like there's no one that has this talent and skill set like an Ashton Alexander. Like
She's
she
definitely 101.
yeah, she's 101. She take on it don't matter what the gender. It don't matter if
Nope.
you're an up and comer
Oh,
or
she's beat
a
my ass.
yeah, she should take on anybody. She wants to smoke. She don't let the smile, the poses fool y'all.
Nope.
If she lays you on your back,
It's
you
over.
it's over. It's a wrap. So Noah, you mentioned you're gonna be in Kansas this Friday. Talk about
Yep.
that show. Talk about the promotion. Who's your opponent? So talk
Honestly,
about
I don't know who the opponent is. I'm doing the pre-show, just
yeah,
getting my face down there with Fountain City. I love going down there to Kansas City, Kansas. I love the arena. I was just telling Gary how much I liked the arena down there the other day. So, like I said, I don't really know what the plan entirely is, but I will be down there wrestling, on the pre-show down there. And then Saturday night, I'm in Mattoon, Illinois, I believe it is, for 01 USA, and I'm wrestling Logan Cavazos there. So those are the next two upcoming, and then obviously St. Louis Anarchy on the 22nd. And that one, the match hasn't been announced yet, so I don't know entirely what's going on yet, but I know it's going to be something fun. It always is with Anarchy.
yeah. So I'm glad you brought out Anarchy because so I live in Kentucky
Oh,
and
so you're about four? How far into Kentucky? We're about 4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours from St. Louis. Probably longer if it's the Illinois show. Um, but I've been very familiar with Anarchy. Um, I watched some of the previous shows there. Oh my goodness, that is a show.
Oh, the
Um,
atmosphere is like no other.
yeah. I mean, and St. Louis in general, that's a wrestling town. But man, when you go to an Anarchy show, for what I've seen on the TV screen or on the streaming device, I mean,
You get your money's worth.
you get your
I mean,
money's worth. Yeah,
it really doesn't matter who's on the card, honestly. At the end of the day, you're going to get, in my opinion, the best wrestling in the St. Louis area. I have dreamed about this Anarchy opportunity. So it's just being able to walk in that locker room and you see the level of talent that's in that locker room each and every show. It's kind of insane. So I tell all my friends and family like that, if you're going to come to a wrestling show that is near where I live and near to see me, that is the one to go to that I'm on. Because you're not just going to just come to see me and then leave. You're going to see a whole bunch of people and talent that you're like, holy crap, I'm going to buy a ticket next show already while I'm here.
yeah, and Anarchy, that's one of the premier promotions in the Midwest, not just St. Louis. That's their city.
See,
That's their city right there. That's
yep.
their home base pretty much. They got man, they got Aaron Williams, they got Nixie, Shaza, Laney, Ashlyn, Tommy, Gary. I mean, they think they got their people all over the Midwest. It is literally a Midwest promotion. You're getting the best from all over the Midwest, and
And that is proving grounds there. I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's just like you say, the best of the best. I mean, no BS comes through the door.
yeah,
If you're not there to be the best, you're not going
yeah,
to make it very long. So, and that's
yeah.
what I love about that building. I love that the vibe, that the crowd, the atmosphere. Like I said, you get to learn so much just being there.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a passionate. Their fan base is passionate as you're going to get, as you're going to see from someone that watches it, from TV or whatever. But man, I'm very happy for Anarchy for what they've done. Just so much good talent, past and present, has come in. Some of them have went to Anarchy, and then you ended up seeing them on TV. So
Yeah, I
actually,
mean,
yeah, it's a proven ground. It elevates a lot of people's careers just being there, and when you give it your all, the fans are gonna show their appreciation. You
yeah, I
know,
mean, Anarch like I wrestled Gary J last Friday night and for 0-1 in Edgewood.
okay.
Well, I was doing my tape study and research and I'm looking through like the Anarchy backlog and you just see guys like Roderick Strong, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Johnny Gargano, all these huge names, John Gresham, all come through this building and you're like, now I'm in there too. You see like it kicks you into high gear. Like that's where I want to go. That's where I want to be. Shoot, we just had Billy Starks was just there. She's always there. I mean, the people that come through there, like I said, it's where the best come from the Midwest or to the Midwest.
So what I also love about Art Anarchy in particular is you mentioned Billy Starks, who's on TV now. And while she's on TV, she's moved up. And every now and then, someone of her caliber comes back and just do what she does there. It's always, just because you're moved on doesn't mean the door's closed. The doors are
Oh
open.
yeah.
So, showing that love to Billy, what she meant to that promotion. So we're in the same state in Kentucky, obviously, and I've seen her grown
Oh,
and
I'm sure.
evolve at a very young age. She is still young, which is mind-boggling. That just tells you she got so many more years
Oh yeah.
to come, and that's scary. AEW, Ring of Honor, you got a building piece
Oh
for the
yeah.
women's division for the next decade with her alone, and others like a Sky Blue, and others. So, but no, man, we getting to the end of the summer. It looks like it feels like we're still about a month or so away. I'm
It's
not
still
gonna.
hot as heck
Yeah,
outside.
yeah, yeah. What's the weather out there in Illinois, man?
Today it pissed rained all day, honestly. But
Okay.
it's probably like 80 something. I haven't checked much today.
Okay.
I drive a forklift overnight, so you
This.
know,
Oh, okay. People are pissed about their contract. Yeah.
yeah. So it's
But
not too I don't really care too much about the weather. I'm asleep during the day most of the time, and then I'm running and trying to get in better shape. So
dang. Oh, so you mentioned forklift. So you one of those warehouse workers. Man.
unfortunately right now, yeah. It sucks. But
Yeah.
so
I feel
I
you,
gotta
man.
stay. I gotta
I
stay
feel you.
mobile.
I feel you, man. As a fellow warehouse worker, it don't matter what shift it is.
It's
It's a
hell.
work. It's a work standing on your feet for
Oh
like
yeah.
10 plus hours.
Oh, see, I don't stand. Screw that. I
No,
sit.
he said no, he said he's well, hence the forklift. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I sit.
I get it.
I
So so let me ask you this, Noah.
Yes, sir.
As you mentioned a lot of names. You got a chance to work with some of them. You shared locker room with these mentioned peers per se. Um, as you continue to nourish, as you continue to grow and evolve as a performer, um, who's out there that you haven't crossed paths with? Who are some
Oh,
of the
there's a lot of names.
yeah? Who's some of the people that Noah Clover want to go one on one with down the road?
Oh, the first name that comes to my mind is Jaden Newman.
Okay.
Uh, and a little break in the wall here. I gave myself a list of 5 guys at the beginning of the year that I had never wrestled before that I wanted to wrestle really bad. And I've made it through 4 of them this year. And he's the last name on this list of people that I haven't been able to wrestle yet. So I'm hoping before 2025 ends that I can somehow get that match with Jaden Newman. But I'd love to get in there and wrestle Warhorse, Jake Parnell, Matt Fitchett, Davey Vega, Thomas Shire, Manders. Uh, I mean, the list goes on and on. Like I said, I'm so new into this business that I feel like any of those matchups I'll learn so much from, you know, and it proving points too. Like I belong in that higher echelon as I get better and better.
Yeah,
So I'm willing to wrestle anybody where at any place really is just want to build and get better and get those reps in.
that's
But yeah,
understandable. Yeah.
but that first name, like if you were to ask me right now, it'd be Jaden Newman.
So, as we are in August 12th, 2025, you put out this list before the year began. You have five names in mind, and
Mm-hmm.
Newman, as you said, he's the only person left on the list that you have
Yep.
not had a single match with. I'm very familiar with Newman.
Oh, he's
Um,
amazing. He's, in my
yeah,
opinion, he's one of the best independent wrestlers on the planet. I think he's fantastic.
yeah.
So, and I love what TWE has going down, going on down there in Chattanooga. I think it's awesome. Like I said, I would love just to get the opportunity to do it once.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very familiar with Newman. He's a stud. Um, he's and yeah, that's so there's Anarchy in St. Louis. There's the TWE Arena in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I don't know if you noticed. I guess you may have seen my post on Facebook, but I like to travel. I
Yep.
like to travel. I go. I'll be in Kentucky. I've been in Ohio. I've been in Indiana, and I've been to Tennessee. So I'm really getting off my comfort zone with these long drive
Heck yeah.
traveling. And I think I remember a few years ago, Allie Katch came. I talked to her, and I said, "Yo, I love wrestling, but I'm not much of a traveler per se. I don't travel that much." And then she kind of gave me that encouragement. Look, you gotta at least see what's out there.
Yep.
You gotta go a little farther than what you're accustomed. There's a lot of I call these people a premium talent, premium because they're not gonna be within distance unless you're lucky.
Yep.
So that was it. She told me that 2023, and I'm closing in on 70 shows in this year thus far.
Heck yeah, dude.
I went to 78 last year. By the end of August, I've been to 70.
Heck yeah, dude.
So,
That's awesome. Hell, you're just gonna have to bump that number up for 26 though.
um, yeah, does it maybe going, look, I'm, I don't know, man. I mean, the
Hey,
park, I'm very lucky, I will say, because of the
that's
friends I've
awesome.
had. I'm very lucky because of the shows I've gone to and how people have embraced me and thanked me for traveling for. Obviously, it's always good to see familiar faces at shows, but every now and then you want to see some different faces. You
Oh
want to
yeah,
see
and
you want to see some new ones, just
oh
just
yeah,
to get it, just to see how they feel about the
yeah.
product that you put in. Uh,
Uh, I agree with you 1,000%. The travel was something that's been a little, was hard for me at the very beginning, because I had never really been driving these long trips.
yeah,
So now, you step out of your comfort zone and you're like, all right, I'm gonna start jumping in cars and driving, veterans around, like, let's do this. Let's actually step out and do it. You know, I drove, I've been to Chattanooga. We did a Jersey trip. We've done a whole bunch of just anywhere and everywhere, honestly. Milwaukee. So, I mean, those are all 8, 9 hour drives each. The Jersey one, I think, was 13 there and back. So, they're not my favorite thing, but honestly, like I was telling my dad the other day, is that's what I consider the work part. When I get to the show and I'm actually like wrestling or in the locker room or there, that's just fun for me.
yeah,
Of course, I'm still working, and that's how we're all look at it as a job. but that's what I wanted to do. That's the fun part for me. Like I love being there. I love seeing when people are filing in, the crowds form. So the drive part is what's really the all right, that's the work. That's the
Yeah.
work for the night. Let's get it done. So,
You ain't kidding, man. People look at me like, how do you go to these shows every weekend, man? How do you do it? How do you pull it off? Uh, and I guess I've asked myself every weekend. Is a drug. I guess you could say it's a drug.
yep.
It's an addiction. But it's a good addiction because it's something that I love.
Yep.
I love to go and I enjoy independent wrestling, and
And you ain't hurting
obviously,
nobody.
I like to go to shows. I like to support my friends. I like to see people that maybe not familiar with at first.
Yeah. That's
I look at wrestling as a wrestling show, independent wrestling shows as an adventure. I look at it as an adventure, just seeing who's out there, see
yeah.
see the fans react, see how the wrestlers, the style of wrestling. I like all sorts of styles. I like some technical style. I like some high flying. I like some strong style. I like some power moves. You
I love
know,
it all.
I
Wrestling's
yeah,
it's a matchup. The styles make fights, they say,
yeah.
So, you don't want to see you don't want to see an entire show full of just guys just punching each other in the face. You want to see everything about pro wrestling. So I get what you mean there 100%.
Yeah, so and I think most shows that you go to, they're gonna have, different styles for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna at least you may not like the entire card, but they gonna at least give you something. They're
You're
gonna
going to
at
leave
least
talking about something.
you're gonna leave talking about something. That's for sure.
That's
That's
what
for
I tell
sure.
that's what I tell all my friends is like, you know what, even if you come to, like I said, use Anarchy as the example and you're just coming to see me, that's great and I love that, but you're going to leave talking about somebody else because of how just fun wrestling is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I had a buddy come to the show last month who hasn't been to a wrestling show in his entire life ever. And I was like, dude, just come support one time. If you hate it, you never have to come again. I'll leave you alone. He was like, cool. I've been hearing about Camaro Jackson for the past week at, work. So, and he won't stop. So it's like, I told you you were going to find something. I was like,
Yeah.
and look at that.
Yeah.
So, and that's,
Absolutely, man. So Noah, where can people find you in social media? Where can they check you out?
you can find me on Twitter at Noah Clover 28. I think on Twitter at Noah Clover. It might be Noah Clover 22. I'm terrible with social media. And then my Facebook is Jacob Clover. Unfortunately, it won't let me switch my name to Noah Clover on there. I don't know why. Facebook sucks. But
Yeah.
those are the three that I have. I don't do the TikTok. I don't do the threads. I don't do you know what I mean? So those are the three that I have. And you can like I said, you can catch me this upcoming Friday in Kansas City, Kansas at Fountain City Pro.
Yeah.
Saturday night at 01 USA, I'll be wrestling Logan Cavazos. And then, like I said, next Friday on the 22nd, we have St. Louis Anarchy here in Alton, Illinois. You should come out. Yeah, when was the last time you were at an Anarchy show?
I
Or have
have
you never
not
been?
I have not been to an Anarchy show yet.
Oh, dude, if you're gonna come out, this would be one. Come on, you travel for all these wrestling shows.
Yes, yes, I do. Like, look,
Come on,
it's
you got Tommy and Gary. You got the Tammy Jovi Memorial Cup with Camaro,
yeah.
Ashlyn, Laney, and oh, I'm terrible. There's one other. I'm so bad. I was just looking at the card. They're gonna kill me for not remembering the fourth person off the top
Nah,
of my head.
it's
Uh,
okay. It's okay. Look, I can't make any promises or guarantees, but I look. I'm with me it's a progress. I've gone from hour and a half traveling to now 3 hours travel. Now from Lexington, Kentucky to Alton, Illinois, that's like 5+ hours.
it is.
So look, I'm making progress here.
Hey, I don't blame you. I get it. Just
So
make you can watch that live on
yeah,
IWTV, of
I got the
course.
app. I got the
And
app, and look,
I
I'm
also
trying.
have a couple in September. I have September 13th, I am at Pro Wrestling Epic, wrestling Cordell Kane and Kenny Calix for the Overdrive Championship.
Mhm.
Then I make my Mississippi debut on the 20th. I'll be down at Pro Wrestling Crusade, I think it is, or Pro Wrestling Crusade in Mississippi. Uh, that match just got announced, so that'll be a good time. I'm excited to go down there and try some good food. Wrestle in front of some people that I've never wrestled in front of, and debut for a new company. I'm very excited about that. So,
Well
but yeah,
said.
that's where you can find me coming up in the near future and on my social medias, like I said ahead of time.
Well said, man. It was great to have this chat with you. Thank you so much for your time.
You too, man.
Continue success and everything. And you enjoy your week, you enjoy your weekend.
Yes, sir.
Thanks you, and you take care, man.
You too. God bless and Godspeed.
Much love, man.
Yep.
All right, peace.
Bye.